Good morning, folks. Miko Ghost, Dean, good morning. Rod from Daytona, Hot Rod from Daytona, SJM Drones and Media. Steve, good morning. Hope you all are doing well today. Well, that was quite the show that Dennis put on, was it not? So I have, some of you will recall that while I was at Spin Up, I won two things. I won a set of coasters that was made by Brad Alston. Hey, Chris Jackson, good morning. Jack Rabbit FPV, good morning, Scott. But I won a set of coasters, and I showed those to you. And I also won a Tiny Hawk Freestyle, which I received. And this is what it came in. This big honking case. And then when I got the box, I thought, man, that's a mighty big box. But I guess what I didn't realize is it's the Hey, Captain Ray.
Hey, Rodney.
Hey,
good morning.
Rodney.
That's TJ.
TJ.
Hey.
So
how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just telling everybody about the freestyle that I won.
I know you were a lucky winner at Spin Up, man.
Not as lucky as you.
I got to see it up close and personal. I'm the first one that got to be up close and personal with the Mavic 3.
Well, maybe Ray Kelly's, but I flew one at Spin Up, so
Stick that tongue out again one more time.
No thanks. So here's the Tiny Hawk Freestyle. But cool. I didn't realize that it was the Ready to Fly kit, and it came with goggles.
Oh, that's cool.
And the controller.
Cool.
Nice. And what kind of drone is that? What?
It's the Emax Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2.
Okay.
How did you like flying the Mavic 3?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I didn't get to fly a whole. I just kind of went up and flew around a little bit and then came back down. I was more scared of crashing it than I was anything else.
Golly, that thing is so much bigger than the Air 2S and the Mavic Air 2.
Well,
and
the
props are a whole lot bigger. The arms are longer. I mean, I was comparing it. Like I could see, like I was looking at them like side by side. I was like, wow, that thing is crazy.
Well,
it's got two LED lights on the bottom, and I'm sure those things are a whole lot brighter than on the Air 2S and the Mavic Air 2.
Yeah, well, the thing you got to remember, TJ, is that's a full-size Mavic.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
Hey, Rodney, I'm going to give you a look at where we are. Right there. There's the beach.
Oh, wow. Cool. What beach is that?
This is Boynton Beach.
Boynton Beach.
Yeah. Boynton Beach.
Ouch.
We were gonna try to go to the
crap.
We were gonna try to go to the inlet to fly, but we were having issues because it's a state park and
county park.
County park, yeah.
Excuse me, guys. I'm not ignoring you.
That's all right. I can't see the chat, Rodney. Just to let everybody know, I don't know who's in the chat. So
I think there's a see where it says chats right there. Just click that.
Yeah, but now we lost them.
Yeah, but then they can go. Yeah, see.
Yeah, but now we lost.
Yeah, and then you could just go back.
Hey, Jack Rabbit.
There you go, Dean.
Hot Rod. Chris Jackson. How you doing?
And anybody else that would care to come into the chat, I just posted the link. Oh, well, just now posted it. So it'll be up for about 15 seconds. So you guys having fun, huh?
We caught the tail end of your sunrise flight.
The tail end of mine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right when you were right when you landed, when you were coming in, you were talking.
Yeah, that's because you guys were too busy flying your own sunrise.
And then Dennis, we were in and out of Dennis's. So you're rooting for the Army today?
Well, I wanted to give Hot Rod a little boost up.
Yeah.
Hey, Tomas, good morning.
You boosted. You gave me a boost too. I was saying, man, he's rooting for the Army.
Well,
hi guys, morning.
Morning, Dean.
Hey.
Ray, if they were playing football, I wouldn't be rooting for Army.
Okay. Hey, Dean, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Sure enjoying my Mavic 3. That's a great drone.
Yeah,
Now,
you're happy with it. Yeah.
Did you go out and buy it, or did you win it like this guy did?
No, I had to buy mine. But people are bitching about stuff not being there. One of which is the turn around a point. And I've always practiced manual turns around a point, and this drone does it so much better than my Mavic 2 Pro. I looked at one of the circles I did on air data, and it was a perfect circle.
Oh, that's
Man,
good.
I was impressed about the zoom quality, like how far you could zoom in. I was quite impressed.
People were bitching about that, especially when you zoom in real high at 28. One of the things,
expect it to get blurry.
yeah, but one of the things I found is it doesn't quite focus right.
Right.
And if you'll hit the photo button halfway in, and it'll cause it to refocus, and about half the time it'll be perfect.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
So that's something they can fix in software, I'm sure.
Okay.
Hey, good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning,
and
Brad.
One of my buddies was telling me like a lot of because the DJI Go 4 app.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were kind of upset because the Mavic 3 isn't in the. What the heck is that?
That's a guy swimming.
Oh, it looks like a turtle. Yeah, a lot of people were upset that the Mavic 3 isn't in the DJI Go 4 app.
They're not going to do any more DJI Go 4. They're going to switch everything to the DJI Fly app, so you might as well get used to it. I don't like it. I don't like it either. But it's taken me a long time to find my way around in that one.
They haven't even come out with the updates yet for the Mavic.
No.
January.
They need to come out with an update for the smart controller too. It's got some things I don't like. One of which is the button customization. There's very few options, and it doesn't save them. Every time you turn it off, you have to reset them again.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good morning, John, Mr. JRC. Tim Jackson, good morning. Tim Jackson's still waiting for the Phantom 5. Tim, don't hold your breath, brother.
We're in the air conditioning now.
you ought to
In
be
the
here. It's
air
50
conditioner.
degrees and drizzling rain.
Listen to him, air conditioning.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try this like this. Can you guys hear okay?
Can we
Yeah.
turn
We hear you
we
fine.
can hear you.
Oh, yeah. How's that? That's better.
Yeah,
Oh, that's even better, yeah.
Sorry about that, Rodney. I should have known.
You and TJ need to get closer together,
Turn your
though.
phone.
You and TJ need to get closer together.
Yeah.
Show some love to each other.
Is that close enough?
Hey, Night Train. Good morning,
Good morning.
Michael.
Yeah, so
Tim Jackson says it's been raining all week in Australia.
Yeah, it was raining here last weekend on and off.
how was your Thanksgiving, Rodney?
It was good. We had lots of good food and
I bet
nice relaxing day.
I bet you were eating everything everybody else was eating.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't I?
There was a this was like a long time ago. I don't know but there's a meme or whatever that says don't be posting your Thanksgiving food on Facebook. We're all eating the same shit anyways.
Yeah. Well, I've never been one to post food on my food on Facebook anyway. I think I've done it once or twice in the whole time I've been on
Only like
Facebook.
psycho people do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mudball Creative. Good morning.
I do it a lot.
Oh, that's funny.
We ended up going to a buffet, a restaurant that had a Thanksgiving buffet. And obviously, you could go back as much as you wanted to get more. I ate so much.
Brad Austin wants to know if you all going to breakfast.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Right? In a few minutes. Actually, I know I could drive, right? I'm allowed to drive.
He also says he likes posting food on Facebook to brag and make
I know.
folks
He's
drool.
another psycho. I was sending Johnny my meal. Every time I went up and got something, I would send it to Johnny.
That's funny.
And then obviously he returned and he showed me his spread. He had a lot of food at his daughter's house.
Dean,
How was your Thanksgiving, Dean?
It was good. We went up to Burnett, which is about 135 miles from San Antonio north. And we had Thanksgiving with my 2 daughters and my grandkids.
All right.
That's nice.
I would have loved to have gone to Idaho and had Thanksgiving dinner with my grandkids, but that's kind of a long ways to go.
Yeah.
We're going out to California for Christmas and New Year's.
What you going to? Whereabouts in California?
San Pedro, the southernmost city in L.A. County. Well, actually, it's part of L.A.
Well, there's L.A. consists of about 25 different towns.
Right.
Third Eye View, good morning.
And look at the fish jumping out there, TJ. Big school. Something's chasing them.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping to fly with Steve Carpenter when I get out there.
Do what?
I'm hoping to fly with Steve Carpenter.
Well, that would be cool. He lives just south of the L.A. area at Dana Point.
Yeah. Yep. And then Recovery One Drone said he might even meet us.
Well, that would be even better. That would be cool. I think he is in the L.A. area.
He's in San Bernardino.
Well, that's the L.A. area. Isn't
Yep. Yeah, he's out east of it. Yep. And then I also sort of gave an open invitation to Aldrin. Wow, the beach is getting crowded. A lot of people walking onto the beach now.
Hey, Rod, that link you sent that you posted in the chat, it doesn't appear to be working. It says video unavailable. The video is private.
Dean, you should change your drone that you have there. You should change it to the Mavic 3.
Yeah.
Roger is
I
here.
don't have a good picture of it yet. I got to take one.
Good
I gotta
morning,
get.
Roger. Canadian Drone Hub is here.
Hey, Roger. Good morning. We're going to try a new breakfast place. I've never been to this breakfast place.
We passed it on the way, and we thought, that looks like an interesting breakfast place.
I'm gonna share a video from Hot Rod. So bear with me.
Where did the bear come from?
Yeah, this is a nice park. Nice
This is
sunrise or
Ormond Beach.
sunset?
It's a sunrise.
Sunrise. Yeah, sunrise. Yeah,
That's pretty
definitely.
nice.
Beautiful shot. Wow.
I think this was taken with his Evo 3. Hey,
Yeah,
Susan
he likes
Lee.
he likes his Evo.
He does at that. Well, it's not a bad drone.
Hey Rodney, you ever been down to Boynton Beach?
No.
Oh, look at this zoom. Nice. That is beautiful. That could be on a
That's-
postcard.
I don't think that was him zooming. Or maybe it was. Rod, was that you zooming?
Ocean Ridge Police.
No, I think that was him flying it.
Oh, okay. Sorry for the
Oh, the
glare.
Riverwalk. Dean is on the Riverwalk.
Yeah, that river walk's getting really busy again. We haven't had tourists for a long time, but beginning the last 2 or 3 weeks, there's been a lot of people down there.
I'll get there one day. I'll get there
As
one
far-
day. We're going over
as
here to
far-
Coastal right now.
Hey, Ray. The only
Yes,
places
sir.
I've been to in Florida is Fort Lauderdale,
Yep.
Pensacola. There's a beach
Yeah.
over by Eglin Air Force Base in the Panhandle, and then that place we were at at the South Florida meetup. Oh, I've been to
Sebastian.
Tampa, Florida,
Melbourne.
too.
Melbourne Beach.
Melbourne, yeah.
Rodney, did you pick your hotel yet? Where you going to stay?
Not yet. Have you guys picked? Have you guys got a room blocked
Well,
out?
I'm thinking like an Airbnb. I'm thinking.
Well, don't you want to stay where Johnny is staying?
Well, we're.
Oh, not really.
Is it one of these? We're gonna have to get our own hotel. We're not gonna. They're not. Nobody's getting a block of hotel rooms.
No, it was more money to do it that way. They don't give it
Really?
a group rate that's cheaper than if you book it yourself. I tried, and six people are already booked at the Hampton Inn and Suites
The Hampton Inn Suites.
in Stewart. Yes.
Do me a favor when you get a chance, text that to me. Who all's in there? Do you know who it is?
Johnny and Michael Wright, Maddie and his family, John Bonifant from the Rhode Island Drone Meetup Group, and John Carroll.
Okay.
So far.
Well, I'll hook up. I'm gonna hook up with Brad Alston and see what his plans are, and Dennis, and see what those two guys what their plans are, and then I don't know. If
Is Brad in the
wants to drive-
chat? Is he in the
Huh?
chat? Is Brad in the chat?
I think he is. He was
Yeah.
earlier. I know that. I was hoping he'd
Yeah, I
come
think
on this morning, but
I think he's staying at his aunt's house in Palm
Well,
Bay.
that would make sense, yeah.
How far away is
So-
Palm Bay from here?
Hey, place it here. Good morning, Ken.
Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Kenny!
You missed a good sunrise flight this morning, Ken. But I know your son's home for the weekend or whatever, so I don't blame you. You got to spend time with him and your daughter.
Yeah, I don't. We're talking about the second South Florida meetup there, Brad. I was just wondering what your plans were, because my wife probably won't be going this year. So if you wanted to drive down that way, I was thinking maybe we could drive down there and then hook up with Dennis again and then drive on down. But that's up in the air. We also, Brad, we also need to start thinking about meet up with Ron Lockwood.
Yeah, you guys are going up to Pennsylvania, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Ron will be going to that. Okay, so Brad's saying he's going to have a week of vacation. He's going to have his wife with him and stay with his aunt. So
Back there?
DJ's Diner?
Did
I'll
I pass
see what
it?
I can do with Dennis. Maybe I'll fly into Atlanta and then Dennis and I can drive down there. And then on the way back, I can come back via Atlanta. Hey, Mike Henrik. Good morning.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? This is really the first time I've ever been on live stream while I was driving, Rodney. Maybe one other time, but
Well, you're doing good. You just pay attention to driving and don't worry about what's going on. TJ can be your co-pilot.
Yeah, I'll be the co-pilot.
you just told me I missed the breakfast place. I make a U-turn.
He's not a very good
I
co-pilot,
told
then, is
him,
he?
I said, hey, there's DJ's Diner. Just kept driving.
I didn't hear you say.
Like, there it is. Just kept
Okay.
driving.
It doesn't look. Yeah, it's open. Okay.
I saw the sign that said open.
Oh, we'll let you guys know how this place is.
Okay. I take it you're going to drop out?
Yeah, we're parking the car, so.
Yeah, we're just parking.
But thank you for the invite, Rodney.
Well, you're welcome. Glad you guys could come in.
All right.
You guys have a good
Dean,
day.
have a good day. And
Take
everybody
care.
in the chat, have a good day.
If you get out and fly safe and fly for fun.
Absolutely. Drone
All right.
863.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Justin. So I am going to post the link. None of my regulars seem to be popping in this morning.
Yeah, looks kind of lonesome in here.
So there's the link. If anybody'd like to come in, please feel free to do so. I am going to share another video from Rod. If I can get it to stop long enough to share it. This
Wow.
is another sunrise at Flagler Beach in Florida.
Wow, that's pretty.
That is pretty.
We had a really nice sunrise here yesterday.
Yeah, right. I'd say you do have some nice places to fly. Oh, no worries, Brad. No worries, brother. I figured you had things to do. And we kind of got late. It started late this morning, so with sunrise is getting later and later in the morning. Saturday morning coffee with Rodney gets later and later because I'm not going to step on my colleagues. It's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal. I mean, I want you guys to come on, but it is what it is. So, what you got planned for today?
Me? I'm just hanging around the house. It's kind of raining outside, but cool and rainy.
This is a printed Fletcher Class DD Menendez drones.
That's cool.
Up. Good morning. Dennis Lovelady printed that for me.
That's cool.
And
Hey,
I broke the mast off this morning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was so proud of myself. I was able to get all the excess plastic off of it without breaking it. And then I was showing off this Tiny Hawk freestyle.
Yeah.
And I put the case down and I heard snap.
I used to climb those masts on Navy ships, Rodney, years ago.
You used to what?
Climb those masts.
Oh,
We
did
had
you?
we had a big antenna that mounted on the very top of the tallest mast, and it weighed about 600 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I was one of the ones that used to have to install it, have to go up there and
I did.
manhandle that thing in place and get it bolted on.
Were you in the Navy or just a
No.
civilian worker?
No, I've never been in the service, but I've spent more time on Navy ships than my nephew, who was in the service Navy for 20 years.
I was in 20 years and served a total. Technically, I served a total of 6 years and 3 months at sea.
Yeah, well, he was even less than that. He was in IT, and he was one of the first ones that started linking all this stuff to the ship together.
Uh-huh.
And they required him to move every 2 or 3 years, and they'd move him half a mile down the road to another place. He spent his whole service in Washington, D.C.
Oh, my. Oh, man. That's one place I wouldn't want to serve at is in D.C.
Me neither.
Man, I mean, it's too spit and polish.
Yeah. We used to do all our installations there at the Norfolk Naval Base. I'm sure you've been there.
Oh, Norfolk? Yeah. I
Yeah.
was stationed there for 3 years on the USS Preble.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked 41 years for a research company here in San Antonio called Southwest Research Institute. And they do all kinds of research, but the division I worked for was primary electronic countermeasures. And so we did a lot of shipboard work. We did a lot of aircraft work. And I've even been on foreign ships. We went over to England one time to do a calibration on a ship there that was out in the English Channel, like 8 miles out. And they said we had to be there by sunset. And we were supposed to be out there at 8 o'clock in the morning. So we got on at sunset. They cruised that. It was a tanker. It was a disguised spy ship. But they cruised all night. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, we arrived back where they were. And they said, well, and I asked him, said, why'd you go out all that way and back? And he said, we had to go out past the limit so we could open our duty-free liquor store. It's a whole nother, or it was then, a whole nother thing on British ships.
Yeah. I spent 3 days on a British frigate when the Preble was doing a NATO cruise.
Yeah.
And we had what we called cross-decking, and I got to go over to a British frigate And of course, their favorite thing is watching Americans get snockered.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that British beer is some pretty strong stuff.
Yeah, I was in Spain one time doing some stuff on a ship, and we went to a little Spanish pub there, and their beer is 12%.
Yep,
It's pretty strong.
yep. So
The guy that owned that pub was from England, and he had some stories to tell. He said one night there was two guys on a little moped that came in there and got drunk. And the guy that was driving it was so drunk he couldn't drive, and so the other guy was driving. They drove up to a corner and stopped and fell over, and the Spanish police came and argued about a while about what to do, and so they took the moped to jail and sent the other guys home.
you know, when I was stationed on the Preble, and one of my DSs, him and a couple of his buddies went into town. A couple of guys in our division and in the ET division went to town. We were in Naples, Italy,
I've been there too.
and was it Naples? No, it wasn't Naples. I forget where it was. We were tied up against the USS Yellowstone, which is a destroyer tender. It was in one of those European ports over there. I don't think it was Naples. But anyway, they had gone into town, and he come back, and his shirt was ripped, and he was bleeding, had a split lip, and he was bleeding from his nose. And I'm like, don't tell me you got into a fight. He goes, no, I didn't get into a fight. And the ET buddy that was with him, what was his name? My DS was, his name was Jim, and the other guy we called Mad Dog. Mike was his name, and Mike goes, he got run over by a moped. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, we were coming out this bar, and this guy in a moped comes flying by, and just like crashed right into Jimbo's. He said Jimbo jumped up on the handlebars and went forward, and he hit the guy with his nose and his lip, right? And then he fell back, and when he fell back, he ripped his shirt on a mirror. And so the next morning, and I was on the mid watch. That's the midnight to 4 in the morning watch. So the next morning, when I went up to our computer room, I was telling the other first class about it. And when Jim walked in that morning, we started singing, Jimbo got run over by a moped. Well, I mean, we had all kinds of words to it. So, Mayla, good morning. Roll Tide. She's from Alabama, so she's an Alabama fan.
Oh,
Well, I'll root for Alabama too, Mayla.
hey Rodney, I put up a link to that Mavic 3 video a while back. If you want to put it up, it's got YouTube audio on it, so you can use it.
Okay.
There was a big, huge Italian-style villa mansion built at the entrance to my subdivision around 2003 to 2005, and it was built by a drug lord to store and distribute his drug products. And I don't know if he thought it'd be safer out here in the country instead of in the city, away from prying eyes, but it didn't work because one night DEA and all kinds of law enforcement showed up, and there was a big shootout. And then that mansion was owned by the DEA for a while. They tried to sell it, and nobody would buy it because it was never hooked up to utilities or anything. And I've been told that there's nothing on the walls inside there but shelf after shelf after shelf for storing drugs.
Guess what Brad sent me? Pictures of food. Only Brad. Whoa.
That's in 5K video edited in DaVinci Resolve. But
Really?
that
5K, huh?
yeah, that drone is really sharp in 5K. I found out one thing. Chrome will play it faster and smoother, but it's not as sharp as if you play it in Firefox.
Really?
Yep. But that's a big place, and I believe that lot is 10 acres that it's on. The land itself is worth about $85,000 to $95,000.
Wow.
But when they tried to sell that place, they had no takers because it cost so much to fix it inside, do all the stuff that has to be done to make it habitable. Never even had a finished driveway to it.
Brad says Chrome will downgrade it if it needs to for playback of videos.
That's kind of what I saw. It'll play it back at 5K real smoothly, but it's not as sharp as playing it back in Firefox. There's all kinds of stuff strewn around there. There's a empty dump truck down there at the bottom,
Yeah, I see it.
and they apparently had some animals because in back there's a little corral.
Is that an outhouse?
No, I thought it was, but it's not. I looked at it closer with my other drone one time when I was there previously, and it's some kind of a big box.
I was going to say, why would they have an outhouse for a house that big?
Well, it was never connected to utilities, so I don't know.
Oh, well, there you go. What better reason to have a...
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that big long white thing on the other end, I'm not sure what that is. It looks kind of like it might be a spiral staircase, but at the very bottom of that, there's a big concrete bunker or something. Looked like it might be a vault for storing money.
Huh. You talk... Well, you're not going to be able to see. You talk about right here?
Yeah. I think I go back around there. See,
There
look at the bottom of that. That looked like a concrete bunker or vault of some kind.
It does.
You can't see that from the road anywhere, but you can see it from up above.
It's a shame to build something so big and so nice looking and
Yep.
then abandon it.
Yeah, it's been abandoned ever since that drug raid. I don't know for sure, but at one time the DEA actually owned it because they confiscated it. And they tried to sell it, and they had no takers. I don't know if they still own it or if they actually finally sold it to somebody. I know there's a caretaker because occasionally second floor door will get blown open, and somebody will call him. He only speaks Spanish, but he'll go out there and he'll close that door.
Tomas says he thinks you should buy it.
No way. I like my place. It's paid for.
Well, that's the best kind.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been out here since April of 2005, so we've been here quite a while.
Do you live near this?
Yeah, my house is about 6.5 miles from there, farther in the subdivision.
Oh, okay.
That's right at the entrance to our subdivision.
I see.
The big cell phone tower behind it's the one that we use here at our house. And by the way, I did my first return to home at the end of this. I've seen people having that thing land right where it took off, and I didn't believe them. But this thing landed within 1 inch of where it took off.
Is that right?
Yep. There I go, return to home.
Okay.
And I'm just on the road out there at the entrance, my truck. I just got a little plywood board with a black tape X on it that I use for a landing pad. It won't blow away.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah, it works pretty good. There it is. I got a little strap on it so I can throw it over my shoulder. But I took off, straddled the middle of that X, and that's exactly where it landed. You can't see it because it puts the camera up when it lands, but it landed right dead center where it took off.
Wow.
Anyway.
I've always liked your logo.
Yeah, I made that myself. It's a composite of 3 different things. The hardest thing I had doing that was making that circular text go around. I couldn't find anything to do that except I had a little label maker for CDs, and it would do circular stuff. So I did a half circle on a green screen and put it on top of there, and then I made it rotate around, and then I put the stars and stuff, or whatever it is, in the background.
Brad says, thanks for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome, Brad. Glad you enjoyed it. I've had lots of good comments on it already. Everybody says it's a shame to have that thing go to waste, but it is what it is.
Mudball Creative says, return to home by power lines.
Yep, I did, but I was watching it.
I bet.
I was right underneath it. It was farther away than it looked. It was about 9 feet away from the power lines when it turned around.
Ah.
But I had my finger on the cancel button just in cases. But I let it go, and it just landed exactly where it took off, and I couldn't believe it. The things it does, people are complaining about a lot of things not being finished, but the things it does really well. It's one of the easiest flying drones I've ever had. I've got a Mavic 2 Pro, and it was a pretty good flyer. But trying to do a manual circle or around a point like that, I could do it, but I had to really be on my toes. And this thing, it's almost like it reads your mind and does what you want it to do.
Wow.
It's really easy to fly.
Well, I'm slowly making the switch over to FPV.
How you doing so far?
Well, I haven't had a chance to fly for a week yet.
Yeah.
So in fact, I'm going to go today, I hope. I'm going to take care of my household chores here right after I finish live streaming and get all that done so I can go over to the church and fly the rest of the day.
Cool. So
hopefully I got a new controller.
Oh boy.
Tyrannus X
or yeah.
X Lite. Thought I'd give that a try. I bought that because I was doing research on what kind of a controller I should use with my Tiny Hawk HD.
Mm-hmm.
This one. And the one I have the QX7. And from what I've been watching on YouTube, it doesn't work very well with the HD.
Huh.
Hey, Mike, Copper State Aerial, good morning. So I went ahead and I talked to Drone Bum, and this is what he uses. So I took his advice and got one. And
I've seen some of his videos. He's getting pretty good. One of them, he had that thing flying almost like a camera drone, getting pictures of trees changing color.
Oh yeah, that was definitely good. He is definitely getting good at it.
Yeah.
It seems like every video you can tell that he's Brad Austin says resistance is futile. on FPV. But I'm still not wanting to get into the constant dollars that is requires to build, fly, crash, order parts, rebuild, repeat. Yeah, well, that's the thing I worry about. So
I've never been into FPV. I don't think I'd have the coordination for it, but I wouldn't have any trouble rebuilding stuff because I worked in electronics for so many years. I could tear them apart and put them back together pretty easy. In fact, on my old Mavic Pro original, I busted a camera and I replaced the whole camera on that thing by myself.
yeah,
And the second camera I had was actually better than the original.
I was watching Rob's video, Third Eye View. There, he says he flew his for 5 days last week in acro mode, and I watched that video, and first off, it does great. It does take good video and seems to fly pretty well. And Rob, you did pretty good, brother. So.
Yeah, Brad, I've built my last two computers I use for doing video processing because the ones you could buy were too slow.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling my next one is going to be. Oh, well, look who decided to grace us.
Hey,
with their
Dennis.
presence.
Oh, I
Morning.
forgot I can't hear you without earbuds on this stupid thing. Good morning.
We
Hey,
can hear
Dean.
you.
My smart comment didn't. He
I
ruined
know
it.
you're talking. There you go.
Okay, we'll have to
You
quit
ruined
talking
it.
about him.
I
What did I ruin?
I said, look who decided to grace us with his presence.
Oh well. I'm
How's it
sorry I
going,
ruined
Dennis?
it. I could go anytime you like.
Oh no,
Four
no,
four batteries
you're
this
fine,
morning. Is
brother.
that
You're
four
fine.
batteries this morning? Is that a record?
That's a world record, yes. Hey, look what you got for Christmas. All right. It's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, and the mast. The mast.
Yeah.
It was there this morning.
Yeah, those are such tiny, teeny parts.
And now it's right here.
I bet you could glue it back on.
Maybe. I may clear it out first and try it. But I got to get some X-Acto knives. This is what I've been using to clear some of the excess plastic.
Oh yeah.
For the most part, it does pretty good. I
Yeah,
got
it's just big.
I got mount 51 and 52 pretty good, and 54 and 55 pretty good. And now I got to do is get mount 53 there.
Yeah. Well, you did better than I did. You can see on the first one, all those guns fell apart. Of course, it's a little bit smaller.
It is smaller, isn't it? I just noticed that.
Dennis, can
Yeah.
you just upscale something and print it a different size, or do you have to do a whole new deal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
No, you can just upscale it.
Yeah, I've never done any.
Um,
I've never done any 3D printing, but a lot of people are into it.
Right. You run into some problems if you have multiple parts you need to fit together. Like if you have a pipe and a nut, let's say for example, right, and they're set to be 5/8 of an inch, and you want to make them 1 inch. You can blow them both up, and they will both print successfully. They may not fit together. The threads may not work right, or
Yeah.
No, Mike. This is a Fletcher class destroyer. This is a World War II vintage. Now, I did see some of these when I first joined the Navy because a lot of these ships were still on active duty in 1972 when I joined the Navy. They'd been modified quite a bit. but they were still a Forrest Sherman class ship or Fletcher class. And but when I was growing up, I built models of these destroyers, and they've always been my favorite destroyers. And then the reason why they were always my favorite because they had the 5.5-inch guns on them. Not to mention the twin mount Bofors mounts, the 40 millimeters, and a whole slew of 20 millimeters. But they'd always been were my favorite destroyers. And then when I learned about Taffy 3, the Battle of Samar, which in my opinion is the greatest battle of World War II that the Navy ever fought, where you had 3 destroyers, 4 destroyer escorts, and 6 escort carriers turn back the Japanese center force, which consisted of it was either 2 or 3 battleships, 10 cruisers, and a bunch of destroyers. And the USS Johnston, which once I get this one completed, this one is, I'm going to put the Johnston's hull number on there, which is 557, I believe, DD 557. And then on this one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to try and find a way to put barrels onto these gun mounts and a mast on it. But I got to get it all cleared off. So
My favorite destroyer when I was growing up was a kid down the street named Richard Muncie. He could tear anything apart.
is that right? Yeah. The View Chaser, Danny. Good morning. You're right, Mike. That was the Miracle on Ice in World War II. And the USS Johnston, Commander Evans, without orders from the task force commander, charged the Japanese fleet and launched torpedoes. And then he was coming back, and by the time he was coming back, the Admiral Sprague had ordered the other destroyers to attack, and Evans turned the Johnston around again and went in and finished firing all the torpedoes and was shooting guns at these cruisers. I think the Johnston was responsible for damaging a battleship, sinking a cruiser, and damaging another cruiser, and sinking another, I think, a destroyer or 2. But it was an amazing battle. There's a book. What was the name of that book? Last Stand of the Destroyermen. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's a true account of what happened during that battle.
Wow.
And it's just, yeah, I hope they make a movie out of it. Now, there is another movie. Huh?
Someone said, where did I see it? I love that movie. There it is. Mike Rennick said, I love that movie. I love the movie.
Yeah.
Not sure what movie he's referring to. Maybe there is one.
I'm not sure. He may be referring to Greyhound, which is another based on another true story, but that took place in the Atlantic. And Rod, you're right. If Halsey had not gone north and that was the whole purpose of the 3 Japanese task forces during the Battle of Leyte Gulf, was the Northern Force was supposed to draw off Admiral Halsey. And that's exactly what happened. Admiral Halsey took the Third Fleet and went off, and then left. There was 3 task groups. Taffy 1, 2, and 3 was left to support the landings on Leyte Island. And so the Southern Force, I forget what happened to them. I think 7th Fleet was fighting them. Now, Rod, that's not correct. The Taffy 3, the escort carriers did have airplanes. They had full squadrons, but they were armed for close air support for the landings on Lady. I'm having I can't talk. They were providing air support for the troops on the island that they were landing on, but they did have planes, and that was another amazing thing. The Admiral Sprague, there were 2 Admiral Spragues, and the one Admiral Sprague was in charge of Taffy 3. He ordered all of his planes in the air and said, "You attack the Japanese force with whatever you got on it." So they were attacking. They were attacking these ships with like 500-pound bombs and rockets and strafing them and stuff like that. They didn't have any armor piercing ammunition.
Yeah, Rod was saying that the Japanese had no aircraft.
Oh, the Japanese didn't have any aircraft carrier either.
Yeah.
Well, by the time Lady Gulf happened, the Japanese their carriers were ineffective because we shut down almost all of their planes. In fact, the Northern Force had what remained of their aircraft carriers, but like Rod said, they didn't have any planes for them.
Yeah.
So
fascinating story.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of great battles in World War II. And I don't mean to take away from them, but in my book, the battle off Samar was the greatest one because you had these handful of destroyers that took on a Japanese fleet, a rather large one at that. So, anyway, so much for history.
There you go. So how are things for you, Dean? Haven't talked to you in a while.
Doing pretty good. It's 50 degrees and sprinkling rain here this morning, so won't be any drone flying today.
No. We have quite clear, but quite cool weather here.
We went up about 140 miles north of here to Burnett. Spent the Thanksgiving with my 2 daughters and all of our grandkids.
Nice.
First time we've been able to get together in over a year.
Right, yeah.
I ate too much, though. Everybody always brings their best dish, and so we have plenty to eat.
Copper State says, I love how the Navy can sit 7 nautical miles offshore and fire 2,000-pound round with pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah.
During Desert Storm, they called it Operation Reach Out and Touch Someone.
ROTS, huh? Rots.
Oh, Paul Murray's in the house. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
His father was on USS Abner.
I'll be right with you, folks.
So I'm going to look that up, USS Abner. Oh, yeah, that was a Fletcher class destroyer, too.
Third eye view. I live about 25 miles west of San Antonio, Texas, so not too far away.
Let me see if I can find a bigger picture. Abner Red is the name of the ship, DD 526. Let me see if I can find a decent picture of her.
Rodney, didn't you just buy a new washer or dryer? You bought some major appliance.
We bought a dryer about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. We bought a new mattress.
Huh. So what dryer did you get? Do you remember?
Oh, it's a Whirlpool. If you give me a second, I'll go look real
Okay.
quick.
No, that's
Yeah.
not, that's all right.
We just bought a new washer and dryer about maybe a year ago, and they were both Whirlpool, and I love those. They work really fast and they clean really well.
I think ours is a Whirlpool.
Yeah. The washers now don't have an agitator in them. They just have a little thing that sticks up in the middle and has some fins on it. The whole thing, tub and all, moves around, but somehow it really gets clothes clean. But
Right.
that thing measures how much you have in it and only puts enough water for what you have in it. And
Right.
so it gets it done really fast. We've been real happy with it. And the dryer works well too.
Yeah, we have to have front loader because our washer and dryer are set into cabinets.
No, no.
There's no
Ours
top load
is
option.
ours is the maximum size top loader washer, and of course the dryer's front opening. But
You're happy with Whirlpool, huh?
oh yeah, I've had Whirlpool appliances for years, and they've always been reliable.
Yeah, our whole kitchen is KitchenAid, which is Whirlpool.
Yeah,
And we're happy with all of that, but
yeah. They
I
also
think
been
we had a Whirlpool dryer and it wasn't working for us very well, so we
Really?
replaced it.
oh, this new one seems to work real
Is
well.
that not true? Didn't we have a Whirlpool dryer that wasn't working very well? That's Electrolux.
Well, I can't find a
Okay.
decent picture. Well, maybe this one will work.
Third eye view. I wish I could go to Kai's thing at Canyon Lake, but he always has it on Sunday, and I have to be in church to run a live television show on Sunday.
Yeah, I just can't find a decent picture of it.
See you, Tomas. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Tomas, you have a good day. Thanks for being in the chat, buddy. We'll talk soon. Mayla's in the house, too, I think.
Uh-oh. Watch what you're saying.
She was talking bad about you earlier, too, Dennis.
I bet. Yeah. Well, then my day is complete. I can go back to bed.
Good morning, Art. Anyway. So I'm going to go fly that Tiny Hawk freestyle today.
Oh, yeah? Good.
Did I tell you I got it finally?
You did. Well, you mentioned it on your live stream your other live stream this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, Mala, I not only do laundry, I can cook too.
Oh,
That's what the guy looks like.
that's nice. Really nice. I saw a drone the other day that could get me interested in FPV.
Oh yeah.
Because it's fit to hold an Insta360 camera and essentially be invisible in the air. I mean, as far as what the camera sees, the
Really?
camera can't see it. Yeah, all the props and everything are in that hidden
Gotcha.
area that the camera can overlap. It's pretty interesting.
Now that would be cool if you get no
Yeah.
props.
It's basically a camera in the air with no props, yeah,
So
and no
anyway,
structure.
this was a complete ready to fly kit. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
I know it.
I didn't either when they were talking about. My goodness. Did the case come with it as well?
Yes.
Wow.
I got the I got the package and I'm like, boy, that's awful big for a Tiny Hawk freestyle,
Right.
So I just kind of wondered if maybe he didn't have some other stuff thrown in. I opened it up and pulled this out and I'm like, wow. So it has the goggles and everything.
I'll
The
be
only
right.
thing
I'll
is-
be right back. I gotta go get another cup of coffee.
Okay.
All right, Dean. Get me some too.
The only thing is you can't record with the goggles.
Oh,
So now Ray Kelly is sending me pictures of his food. Actually looks
we
pretty
need
good.
that, don't we? Just some ideas he's throwing out, perhaps.
Huh?
Suggestions, ideas.
Even Brad sent me pictures of food.
Well, Brad
Breakfast
does that from
casserole.
time to time.
Brad even admitted he likes posting pictures of food. Excuse me. I'm up to 100.
Yeah, Brad likes taking pictures of food.
Yeah, he does.
That's one thing I learned about him on this trip to Spin Up. There was no meal was set before him that he didn't take detailed pictures of. So it's good.
He did mention that. So you're going to that South Florida meetup, right?
Yes, I plan to. Yes. It's only about 8 hours from here, something like that, driving.
So what would you think if I flew down to Atlanta and then rode down
That'd be fun.
with you, and then coming back, we go to Atlanta and I fly back to Richmond from Atlanta? I think that would be fun.
Yeah. That'd be great. I'd like that.
Art mounted an Insta360 Go 2 on his Tiny Hawk 2 Freestyle.
Yeah, that's nice. I have one of those, and they will go anywhere. The only thing I was kind of thinking that would be a 180 camera, but it's not. I don't remember what the field of view on it is. It's quite good, but it's not quite 180. So.
Yeah, I've been looking at two cameras because I've been looking at the 360 Peanut.
Okay, the Peanut is made by a company, Caddx, CADDX, I think it's spelled. And that's actually a collaboration between Caddx and Insta360. And it is a stripped down go-to, basically. You get a lot of extras when you buy it, and it costs about the same as the no extras go-to. But it's Al Duran had one when he was here, and essentially it's the same as the go-to. It's pretty cool unit. Some of the extras that are with it are there's for example there's a power supply that can attach to your drone.
Yeah.
If you have FPV, FPV style drones where everything's accessible, right? But of course that won't work with Mavics and that. But the stripped down part is that the video is, at least from my perception, is limited to a round. I don't know what the dimensions are, but it's a round screen, if you will.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking out the window.
No, that's fine.
Maida
No,
said something
welcome
about
to
it
do that.
being windy. It does
She's
look
referring to me
a bit windy.
again.
Well, yeah. Can't avoid the wind. The Tiny Hawk, I bet that Tiny Hawk will fly just fine in the wind. Because that thing had some power.
Yeah. The go-to and the peanut, essentially nothing. You can pretty much put them in the air by themselves. They weigh very little.
Yeah, I was watching a video of somebody that put was using a peanut, and because I looked at the 360 go-to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Dark, good morning.
But you get more with the peanut for about the same price as,
Do you?
like I said, as the no accessories go-to. So, and I don't know, maybe you can find a really good deal on them now. Cyber Monday, a couple of days.
Yeah, maybe so. I would like to get the go-to to mount on my Tiny Hawk too. Yeah.
Mike, I bet I can find a file. Do you already have the go-to? If you do, I could probably find a file that would that I could 3D print for you to mount that. If not, if I can't find one, I can probably make one.
Well, if I get one, you're going to have to make one for me too.
So what's the
Mike Miller,
difference now
morning.
between your Tiny Hawk? What is it?
Freestyle.
Freestyle and a Tiny Hawk 2, or a Tiny Hawk 3 for that matter.
What's the difference?
Mm-hmm. Do you know?
Well, the Tiny Hawk. Hang on a minute.
Did you see him just move that green screen like it was real? Did you see that, Dean?
Yeah.
Weird.
The magic of video, huh? Most of the Tiny Hawks look like this. This is the Tiny Hawk S. And then the Tiny Hawk
That's
2,
the Tiny Hawk S.
the Tiny Hawk 2s look like what I just the other one. So if you go to Emax's site, that they have them separate. I can share that.
Two and three are ducted. Oh.
There you go. So I'll share this. I don't know how much trouble I'll get into, but I'm gonna share it anyway. It's free advertising on their part. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Okay, so uh, this is a Tiny Hawk, and then this is the Tiny Hawk 2 Freestyle. So
I see. Let me get another device here.
there's
Like my school notebook.
So, like, here's the Tiny Hawk 2 indoor FPV racing drone. Tiny Hawk bind and fly.
Okay, I see. Now that I see the pictures of the tiny hawk, I remember that. So yours has basically what I would call open props, and the tiny hawk does not.
Right.
That would be the major difference between them.
Right. Now, they do show the like there's the freestyle right there. Oops. So they got all kinds of parts and stuff you can get for them. I need to get some extra blades for the Tiny Hawk Freestyle.
So Mike, Copper State, there is actually a very simple part to print to put a GoPro mount onto a Tiny Hawk. Tiny Hawk, oh, that's the Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2. Anyway, shouldn't be too difficult to pull that off. If you wanted to go with the GoPro mount, that's probably the thing to do. If you want me to try that,
Mike
go
makes
ahead.
a good point there. The Freestyle is basically just it uses the same flight controller that a 2S uses. So they're basically the same. It's just the body styles are different, I guess you could say. And the blades are definitely different. The props. So anyway,
Mike
boys,
Miller, yeah, I like that. I like that color too, or that cover too. You can leave this in your car and probably pretty much not worry about somebody trying to steal it.
oh yeah. Did I say, hey, Mike Miller, did I say hi to you when you came in? Good morning. Welcome to the chat, in case I didn't.
Sounds like somebody's going cuckoo.
Yeah, somebody is. Somebody's always going cuckoo in this house.
Yeah. So, anyway, boys, I think
I couldn't possibly be the cause.
I'm going to go ahead and call.
What are you saying, Rodney?
I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this one.
Well, it's been fun. I appreciate you having me in this morning.
Well, I'm glad you were able to come in. You're always welcome to come in.
Yeah, Sundays on Saturdays I have a motorcycle ride, but not today. It's next Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, so then it's, of course, you're my co-host. You need to be here.
Sorry I was so late this time. things going on.
No worries. I figured you had the stuff to do.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, Dean. Have a
See
good
you
one,
guys. Bye
buddy.
now.
Bye, Dennis. Anyway, folks, thank you for being in the chat. Do appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow morning you got the Sunday sunrise cruise. You got Paul Davis or Drone Bum flying high in from Long Island, New York. Then it moves down to Dennis Lovelady in Georgia. I'm taking a break. I'm going to explain this again. My sunset and Paul's sunset are really close. They're like within 5 minutes of each other. So I decided that I was going to step back and just let Paul have the time for the sunset, and then Dennis can take over from Paul. And then we'll do that until the springtime when the sunsets get further apart. Then I'll jump back in. And then, but I will from time to time, if Paul needs me to take his place for some reason or another, I will be available to jump in there and help him out. So anyway, so don't forget the Sunday sunrise cruise. It'll be Drone Bum, Dennis Lovelady, Fly Natural, sunrise. Yeah, I mean sunrise. Did I say sunset? Been a long time since I've done that. Sunrise, yes, sunrise. Sunrise crew. Oh boy. Anyway, folks, then it'll be Chris Hope, and don't forget Johnny Drone Flyer. He will be flying. He will be doing drones and coffee right after right after Chris Hope is done. So be sure to join in on that one. You all have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in the chats tomorrow for the sunrises. And you all take care now. Love y'all. Bye.